Okay, YouTubers, I've rolled 11 bikes out here. I've got 21, but I've got the 11 that hold air and are more close to up and running. I'm going to go through them kind of quick because I don't want to drag out too long. This is an old Wisconsin Springer front end, foot clutch, belt primary drive, chain final drive. There's the foot clutch assembly. Sears All-State tank. This one is a unknown frame brand. It's got two top bars that gas tank's sitting down in. Tecumseh 5-horse belt primary, belt final drive as well, on a pulley off of insecticide sprayer that Sears Roebuck sold back in the 60s. Little bitty tiny two-cycle with a plug that looked like a glow plug, real small, way smaller than the 14 millimeter that 99% of plugs are. Little bitty thing. I ride it all the time. It's good and dependable, but this one is probably the most dependable of all of them. The old black one I've had since '85, cast iron Briggs, bigger carburetor, belt primary, belt secondary. Oh my, flex pipe exhaust off of electric conduits, what it was. And this little Kawasaki, a friend of mine called it a Kawasaki, but I like it a lot. It's dependable. 3 horsepower, closed dryer pulley, final drive, belt primary drive. Was a girl's bike. Cut it open, took the bar off from down there by the jack shaft and moved it up to the top, welded it on. Good bike. Very little trouble. Had one blowout on it. That's the only trouble I've had. The old front wheel drive, I did a video on it the other day of it squealing the tire a little bit. Self-explanatory. Hinges on a bracket off the fork. Lever makes it roll down in the tire. That's all on another video, but if you don't see it, you'll get an idea from this one. Easy to make. You can build one in the afternoon. You don't need a welder. Handier if you got one, but you don't need it. All right, this old Schwinn has an edger motor on it. Was a 2-speed cable operated Bendix wheel with coaster brake. Very odd. But the 2-speed part went bad, so it's in its lowest gear. Chain final drive on a bicycle sprocket. Get around here without breaking my neck. And pulley front drive. Sun's kind of going to screw that up. This is the one I made to look like the Breen Taylor very first Whizzer that they made friction drive. Only 1 year, 1939 only. Didn't go over good, so they quit doing it. Here's my roller down below, comes up under the tire. And little China tank. Don't like them too much, but they're better than nothing. And a garage door cable that pulls the roller up into the tire. Okay. It won't hardly pull me. It's only 1.5 horses. This is the other extreme. This is an 8-horse air compressor motor, and it'll make tears go back the side of your head. This sucker should have never been made. It's really, really fast. It bends the axle every time I dog it. It's got the gobs of torque. Chain drive final, belt drive primary, variator type clutch that comes together and grabs the belt rather than to be tight all the time like most of my centrifugal clutches. An old Whizzer that's far from original. Did a video on it a couple days ago. Had it running. Started off a little old WMB, which the only way I could set it on the ground was with the WMB turning the wrong direction. So I just flipped the belt like a figure 8 and it sent the pulleys in opposite directions. Got her started and haven't rode it yet, but I don't want to put gas in it. This old weird one here I made it just as a lark, I guess. It's got a Tecumseh. They had a broken off crankshaft. Somebody smacked it to loosen the flywheel nut, and Tecumsehs are bad about breaking. They're way more brittle. So I drilled and tapped it, made a good motor out of it. Didn't have a clutch, so I hinged the motor. What the heck? Tightens the belt, or it loosens the belt. Right there, it's tight and pulling. Right there, it's loose and slipping. There's my little chopper looking one with the Honda Hobbit wheel. The Hegar Kickstarter that I've never seen one except online. I haven't seen another one in person. I know they're out there. I've looked them up to find out what this one was worth out just to be doing it. Another one of them cute little tanks. Homemade Springer. Haven't got it up and running. I got it down, wiped a little of the dust off and some of the mold off the tires. They mold down here in the basement. I really need to clean its carb, do a couple things to it, and get it going. It's got a cool sound to it. It's a 5-horse Tecumseh with a chain clutch made into a belt clutch and a Toyota heater motor for the lights. So that's the Red Whizzers 1, the big 8-horse Man Killers 2, the Breen Taylor looks like the first Whizzers 3, the dependable Tecumseh 5-horse is 4, that big ass Wisconsin that I don't know how many horses it is. I think it's 3 2/10. It seems like I remember seeing that on the nomenclature. That's 5. Old Black Old Faithful. It's got my mom's fanny pack on the back of it. She's been dead since '03, but it's kind of like she's riding around with me. That might sound hokey, but I don't care. I done lost track. 6, that was 6. This is 7 with the little Kawasaki. The front wheel drive Briggs is 8. This little 2-horse Briggs with that did have the 2-speed wheel is 9. The little chopper one, 10 with the Springer. And the one that's real offset, kind of oddball, but not a bad old bike. Uses a BMX rim for a pulley. That's 11. So if anybody sees this, it's affiliated with a magazine. I've seen some magazines do little articles in them about people's collections of oddball stuff. I'd say this pretty well fits into the oddball stuff collection. This is just 11 of 21. So hell, that might even be a record of homemade ones. I know there's people with 21 mass produced, but this is all made from junk. I probably don't have $300 in all this stuff over the years. It's all parts that come to me. I'll show you the rest of them. That's 11. Back here is 12. One with the Jacobson 2-cycle on it way back here in the corner would make 13. Read and take note. That's all I'm going to say. 14, my old one with the motor on the front wheel. Generator brackets, you flip over to engage it and flip back to disengage it. Over center like vice grips, sort of. The little one that Les Paul Deal owned, but got tired of, and I got it back from him. The big long one with the motor on it backward because it's got the kind of reduction gear that has the 2 gears rubbing male on male teeth, so they turn in opposite directions. That's why I got the motor on it backward. Big old long chain, not a real good idea. It tends to, a little bit of play in one link makes a whole lot of play overall real quick. Plus I run brand new tires letting it sit. And this little dude, it was wheels off an AMF moped with a roller on the back wheel. A little 2-cycle junky AMF thing they sold. I kept the wheels and put them on a 26-inch bike. A little scooter that you stand on with one foot with the bar cut and turned up, made into a instead of the bar going down to the bottom where it used to go, way down here, right there, I put it up here, goes to a seat post. See that damn mold? That shit's gonna, I'm gonna come down here with some Tilex and wipe these bad boys down someday. But it runs real good. The little bitty wheels I've reinforced with metal brackets running out from the sprocket to the rim. You can't see it, but I did to strengthen it so I don't have to worry too much about getting hurt. Then there's this one called a Layton, made in St. Louis, Missouri. Has a, if I can get the clamp off of it, has a sliding motor. If your hand's sore. Nowhere, just weathered from sitting out, but no wear. The roller looks like brand new, and the bronze bushings are still perfect. So it didn't get much life, didn't get much use. And then what I call the cat in the hat bike, pushes that bike, that beige Columbia or some kind of real weird bike. It had a enclosure up on the front, a tank around the neck and between the two top bars, and had a center stand also at one time. You can see the tabs, but I didn't get that with it. Those aren't the right wheels. It's just junk I came up with. And a little chopper back there that Les Deal took with him on his honeymoon, as well as the one I got back from him. He took them. Ain't many people can say they rode homemade motorized bikes through a state park on their honeymoon, but they can, Les and his wife. So that's all of them. And that ain't motorized yet, but give me time. All these boxes of brackets, organized chaos. I can get through here now with all of my bikes out in the lockup shed. A couple of them I'll bring back in. But I save everything. I don't throw any belts away, any pulleys, brackets, idlers. All this stuff is going to get used at one time or another. Idlers. Just boxes of it. All right. That ought to make a interesting thing. Yeah, somebody get me in a magazine. If anybody wants to do a spread on these, I would love it. I've seen other people's collections and thought, man, that'd be so neat. Because I've been doing it since I was about 13 or so, and I'm 64. So nothing like getting your 10 seconds of fame one way or another. And a lot of people don't do the internet. I just started. This is why I'm so gung-ho on all this right now. Kind of like a kid in a candy store. But I'll get this uploaded after a while. Wade Made Motorized Mayhem is my YouTube channel, but you not only have to go on the channel, you got to go on the videos as well. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to work or not, but like I said, I'm learning as I go. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm having fun. Bye-bye.